guys, it's Grace, and today I'm doing a tea Q&A, and that does not mean that the questions are about tea necessarily, but that does mean that I am just going to drink some tea and answer all of your questions. So first off, we obviously have to talk about what I'm drinking. So I have a Portland mug. So this is my Oregon mug that I'm absolutely in love with. It's kind of the cutest thing ever. And I knew that people were going to ask what tea I was drinking, so I'm actually drinking a very different type of tea that I recently discovered, which is honey citron tea. It's Korean tea, and actually this is how they treat colds. I'm going to start with the comments that I have, then go to the DMs, and I'm going to do my best to answer all of them. There aren't a whole lot, so hopefully I will be able to. And a couple of them are like actual advice questions, so I'm going to keep everybody anonymous, just so you know. So the first question is, what is a pet that you know you are going to own when you're older? All I know is that I want a husky when I'm older, because like that's been a dream since I was like 2. I don't know. Of all dog breeds, I've always wanted a husky. Definitely a husky, and we'll go from there. At what age did you get your first pet? Depends what you consider my first pet. I was a unborn bean when I had my first pet, which was actually my cat Shelby, who I think I have a picture of. And this is Shelby, and we called her Kitty because I could not say Shelby, but I miss her so much. And my mom had her actually like before I was even born, and she lived for a really long time, and I love her, so that was my first pet. What year did you start YouTube and why? I made the account that I use for YouTube in 2013, but I don't think I started making videos until 2014, I think 2014. And why? Well, at first I actually had an interest in fish, and I just it was just a mild interest, and I wanted to get a betta or maybe some guppies, so I started researching it. Well, then I went on YouTube and I found Florivanes. Well, I found Florivanes on Instagram, and I found Lauren Pink Pets on YouTube, and so I just fell in love with their channel and Instagram, and I was like, okay, I need to do this. And so I was like, you know what, I can make videos, and they were nowhere near as good as Lauren's or Meg's Instagram, but I tried. How quickly can you do a water change? Well, that depends, because if I'm doing like a water change, like not just, okay, let me clean up the bottom and rearrange it a bit. If I'm doing a full-blown water change, now that I have my Python, it's less than 30 minutes every time, but it's still a decent amount of time, because I'll fill and empty the tank a few times to get all the crap out of the bottom, if that makes any sense. Dream pet, I've always wanted to own a horse, honestly. I really want a horse. The next question is, what do you use to film and edit? And I use my Sony a6000, and I forget the name of the lens because it's like I got it recently, but and then I use iMovie on a Mac laptop, so yeah. And then, what is your favorite store to shop at? So I'm assuming you just mean store in general and not necessarily pet related, which is still really hard, actually. I'm a thrift store junkie, to be honest. I just don't like paying full price for anything, ever. So, I'm telling you, if I ever splurge on anything at all, I get really, really upset. It's an anxiety point for me, not gonna lie. It's rough. It is not a good thing. So the next question that I have is, so probably any thrift store, to be honest. Because we have a few local to me, but obviously I can't tell you the name of those because they're local to me. So if you search them on the internet, you know where I live. So the next question is actually for advice, so I'm gonna summarize. So basically, this person sent me this message and said that she got cast in her school play as a lead, and even though it's a cool thing and it's great and all, she's really, really scared to do it because she has to sing and everything, and it just freaks her out every time she thinks about it. She has a solo and a duet for each performance, and there's 3 and there's 400 or more people, and so she's kind of freaking out. She's wondering how to deal with that, what to do. Well, number one, especially because I know you personally, I'm going to talk straight to you right now, you, right there, and you're probably in PJs laying in your bed with no socks on? Maybe. Are you wearing socks? I don't know. But listen to me. The fact that they cast you tells you enough. There are plenty of people that may have taken vocal lessons or whatever, but they know what they're talking about, and if they chose you, you are good for the job. They know that you are talented, so don't overthink it. If they made that decision, they are going to be there to help you. If you need to talk to a vocal coach or the director or somebody like that, make sure that you do. Anybody that you know that actually, really knows what they're talking about, talk to them for sure and get some of your concerns out. And I'm going to give you my best acting advice that I have and also singing advice that I have, which is number 1, breathe right. And you can text me and I'll tell you exactly how to breathe right, but it's all about your diaphragm, and I know everyone throws that word around, but I'll explain to you how to use it, and it really, really helps. It makes you sound a lot better. Work on it when you're at home. Yeah, I'll text you this part, but when it comes to like being nervous to be on stage in the first place and being worried that you're going to forget your lines and stuff, once they're memorized, so if you can recite them when you're sitting in your bedroom, if you can remember your first line, you'll be fine. So when you're waiting to go on stage, just think about that first line over and over and over in your head, and I promise you, if you can get out there and say that first line, take a deep breath once you're out there, say your first line, and everything else will just flow after that. And I think it goes the same for songs as well. But anyways, so vocally, I will text you. But make sure that the day before you're humming a bunch, because that actually like really warms up your vocal cords. And try not to have any dairy in the 24 hours before it. These are just all things that will help you. And also, I got another question that was about stage fright, which connects to this completely actually, which is kind of funny that you both asked about this. But if you get stage fright, the best thing you can do is to move your toes. And I know that sounds really weird, but if you clench your feet and release them, it's better than anything else you can do. So fidgeting with your hair or moving your hands a lot like that, like people will notice that. So if you just like do that with your feet, it actually moves all of that tension down. Not only does it keep your blood flowing, but it gives you something to sort of focus on, and it relieves a lot of that tension. It really, really helps. And same to this person who asked about the stage fright thing, is that it is really important to just remember that first line. You're good. You got it. Got it covered. I promise. So, the next question is, I know you just went to a public high school. I'm going next year, so how is it? If you're going into freshman year, it's going to be hard. Not gonna lie to you. Obviously you can DM me about like personal concerns, but it's going to be hard. And I mean, I need some tea. I need some tea for this question because this is a deep one. So, I am an extroverted introvert, for those of you who don't know. So high school isn't the most fun place for me, especially because I don't know, I'm a fairly innocent person too. I don't really like talking about nasty things, and sometimes high schoolers are pretty nasty. But let me tell you, last year was hard. It was really hard. I probably, like, literally, guys, I'm not even lying. I had 2 or 3 friends that I actually talked to, because I'm also really picky about friends, which makes me sound like a snob, but in reality, it takes me a while to really trust people. And actually, I can do it more easily over the internet, which is not always the best thing, but I really only had 2 or 3 friends. But I'm telling you, the first year, or at least first semester, will be hard. I mean, it really will, but once you get through that, like this year, I have a club that I started. I have this amazing group of friends that I love so, so much. I mean, my main tip would be, number 1, just pressure through it. It's going to be difficult. The transition's hard, it's weird, it's new, but it will end up being good. You just have to push through the hard time, and then it will get much better, I promise you. And then my other tip would be, don't get caught up in a group, especially your first year. I mean, I wouldn't recommend being in a group at all, but don't get tied down to one group. Just do your best to like be nice to everybody and not have like a specific group. I don't know. That's just my opinion, because that's what I did, and it actually really helped me in the long run, so hopefully that helps. What is your dream career? What do you want to study? What college do you want to attend? So everybody's been asking me this lately because I'm a sophomore and it's second semester and I'm going to be 16 soon and I'm supposed to be driving and all this stuff, and life is just like getting to that point where everybody's asking you, what are you doing next? What are you doing next? And I don't mean to shoot your question down at all, because I will try to answer it as best I can. I have no idea. That's really all. I don't know what college I want to go to. I don't know what I want to study. I don't know what I'm pursuing job-wise. I mean, in all honesty, I want to do something in either film, something related to animals, something social, like working with people, because, like, not necessarily counseling, but just things where you work with people. I don't know how to explain it. I'm horrible at this. Something photography related, because I would love to do that. I have no idea, to be completely honest. And then there's also a little piece of me that's always wanted to own like a business. like some kind of clothing business or something. I have no clue. So, if you don't either, join me. What's your favorite kind of tea? Definitely this one, honey citron from Korea. I almost forgot that again, but I love it so much. Also, I love English breakfast. That's like my second. My third's probably chamomile. I haven't been super experimental with my teas. Like, this is the first new tea I've tried in forever. How do I persuade my parents to getting a dog? So, here's the thing. With smaller pets, it's easier, and especially if you've already owned a pet, it's easier to convince them. So if you have, I would say definitely just really, really work hard with caring for the pet that you already have, or have, well, that doesn't make any sense. Work really hard to make sure that you're taking care of the pet that you do have, and show, I mean, most of all, like above anything else, show your parents you know what you're talking about. When I asked to get fish, I sat down with my parents, and guys, I looked like a little nerd, like a little businesswoman. It was hilarious. I pulled out my folder, and I had a sheet that was like all of the prices and all of the expenses and everything that I was going to need and all of these facts. And if this happens to my fish, this is how I'm going to deal with it. And, you know, these are the reasons why you should if you know your stuff, most likely your parents are going to let you. Just show that you're responsible, and most of all, if they say no originally, accept it. Like, don't whine about it, don't freak out. Believe me, I've done it before, it doesn't work. So just chill, and then try again another time. And yeah, I hope it works. If it does, send me a picture of your dog. I hope it works. Have you ever had a sorority? Yes. If so, how do you maintain it? To be honest, I sucked at a sorority. So, you can watch my opinion on beta sorority video that I made, which, long story short, if you don't want to watch that entire thing where I had green hair, then I just don't think that it works for everyone. Some people it totally works for. And that's my opinion on a lot of things, to be honest, is that it's subjective. But, to be honest, it's mostly about having a heavily planted tank and betas that are suited for life in a little group, in a sorority. That's what it's called. I don't know why I said a group, but yeah, I don't know a bunch, seeing as mine didn't work out, and now I have females that are in divided tank. But so the next question is, what is my favorite subject in school and why? And honestly, I have said honestly so many times in this video. We're gonna move on, but I don't really have a favorite subject. I love to write. I mean, my favorite class that I'm taking would definitely be photography, because I'm taking a 35mm film class. Greatest experience of my life. I love it so much. I don't have a top class really. It's just, lit and math and science. I forgot what science was called for a minute there, are all really even. I don't have one subject. In general, I enjoy writing and I enjoy artsy things. And I like some sciences too, quite a bit. And every once in a while I start liking math, but I don't really have a favorite, to be honest with you, but yeah. And then the final question is, how did you get so interested in pets? Not gonna lie, it's 98% influence. So when you meet other people's dogs, or when you see pictures of their pets on Instagram, or when you see videos on YouTube, and you're like, that looks like it would be fun. Or you just want the experience of owning a pet, or you're bored and it's summer and you're like, hey, I need a friend that's in a tank. And then you realize how lonely you are, and then you have 4 tanks and a lot of water in your room and a lot of fish, and then you realize you have no friends, and you realize your fish know more about your life than anyone else. Anyways, okay guys, so that is it for this video. Those all the questions that I got. I actually completed all of them, so hopefully I don't have a ton of footage to edit. I think that's it. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Just a little thing, by the way, if you're still watching this, I don't know why you sat through my whole on sleep, but I love you very much, and I hope your week's going really well. And if you need to talk about anything, seriously, anything, I don't care what it's about. If it's just about pets, fine, come talk to me. If it's about something really serious going on in your life, I got you. And you will stay completely anonymous, and nobody's gonna know that you're talking to me, but I will be here for you. So, DM me if you need me, okay? You're gonna get through this, alright? And I love you so much. Seriously, I love you so much. And I will talk to you later. Gonna focus. Ooh, it focused. That's interesting.